Hello, my sunshine, and welcome to a new episode of the Hot Girl Morning Podcast. I am so excited and so grateful to have you here because in today's episode, we're going to manifest your dream reality together. And I'm going to give you some background on how I came up with this episode idea because honestly, this morning, I wasn't feeling my most motivated self, my most excited self. I was just like, I'm not feeling it. And then I actually listened to my last episode that I posted, which is like a morning motivation episode that you can listen to, especially on Mondays. It's not Monday today, but who cares? And it gave me the kick in the butt that I needed. And it reminded me of the thing that I have planned to do this week. Because in general, I'm feeling very, very well at the moment. And I have this feeling that my manifestations are getting so close and I can feel it happening and I know that it's happening, and I want to really make sure that I energetically align myself with everything that I want to welcome and invite into my life. And I thought, okay, why not do this together? Why should I do this alone if I can do this together with you? So that's what we're about to do today. If you don't know, my name is Greta. I'm an accountability and empowerment coach. And on this podcast, we talk about all things personal growth, mindfulness, self-love, manifesting your dreams, and becoming the best version of yourself. So if any of these topics sound interesting to you, make sure to follow this podcast, rate it 5 stars if you really enjoyed, or maybe send it to a friend who might need to hear this today. Before we start with this episode, I want to be really transparent with you because if you're looking for a manifestation expert / manifestation guide, coach, whatever, I am not that person. I am not the absolute most knowledgeable person you can find regarding manifestation. I love to read about it. I love to consume content, and I have just seen that it positively changes and improves my life. And I want to share the things that I have realized in my past and things that work for me. But we're not going to get into the science of it because I actually do not know a lot about that. I just know that certain things have happened in my life, and you can call it manifestation, you can call it whatever you want, but I think there's something powerful once you align yourself energetically with the reality that you want to create for yourself. And that is what manifestation is for me. Manifestation is not about just writing down, okay, here are the things that I want, and one day magically all these things appear. It is like you're showing up in this different energy, you're taking actions in this different embodied version of yourself. And all these things combined help you manifest that new reality, if that makes sense. But again, I'm not a manifestation expert. If you're looking for someone like that, you may have to find someone else. But I hope that you will enjoy this episode nonetheless. And also, I'm going to take some pen and paper today and just like write these things down, because for me, there's a huge power in not just thinking about these things, but also to write them down. If you're currently not in a place where you can write them down, no worries, you can also do it later. But this is just something that works for me. And the reason we're actually doing this together is because in the beginning of the week, I had an accountability call, because once a week, every Monday, I have an accountability call with a friend of mine. And I love doing this, and I'm soon going to offer something like this in my business as well, because as you heard, I'm an accountability and empowerment coach. But basically what I'm doing in this call is kind of reflect on my past week and figure out, okay, what's the focus for the next week and what are some things that I want to get done. And I basically realized 2 things. The 2 things that I want to focus on this week are, number 1, creativity, like with the business, with new offers, with the podcast, with content, with everything I'm doing. And number 2, it is manifestation, because I recently got this feeling, or I feel like it has built for a long time, where I'm just like, I feel like things are falling into place. I feel like my manifestations are about to become reality. There are certain things that I have been dreaming about for a really long time, and I can feel it that they are getting closer. And instead of just waiting and doing nothing, I want to really embrace this energy, and I want to really radiate at this different frequency. And I want to do everything I can to be really clear about the reality that I want to create for myself, and do my best to embody this version already right now of the person that I want to become. So that is what we're about to do today, because I would personally say that there are certain things that I have manifested in my life I would say 2 or 3 months before meeting my now partner, I have written a list of non-negotiables and things I want in my partner. And then I have journaled about a couple more questions about the way he is and the way our relationship is and all these things. And I have written all these things down. And you have to imagine it was like, let's say 3 weeks later, after writing these things, I had a conversation with a friend. And this friend was asking me, okay, do you actually believe that this person exists? Because to me, it doesn't sound like a human like this would ever exist. And I was like, you know what? I am completely okay with being single for the rest of my life because I love myself. I love spending time with myself. And if I'm not able to get a person who clicks and checks all these non-negotiables, then I love to just be my presence, and that is completely fine for me. And fast forward, what was it? Maybe 1 more month, I met this person. I met the person who checked all the boxes, all these non-negotiables and like values that are really important to me and ways of living and looking at life. And now we have been together for the past 3 years. And you could say, okay, that was just a coincidence, but there's something that feels different to me about it, thinking about this time. And also when I was like writing about all these things that I want in my partner, it was not only that, but at the end of it, I was also writing down, okay, who do I need to become to attract this energy and this type of person into my life? And it is also about like realigning yourself with what you want. So that is a huge thing that I would say I kind of manifested. You could also find any other word for it. Or I remember I have listened to my own, like I have written a manifestation letter and I have listened to it over and over every single day. And I was dreaming and envisioning about waking up in front of the beach, next to the beach, together with my partner and watching the sunrise while doing yoga at the beach, and then like working on my business, on my podcast, spending time with my partner, and later like playing ukulele at the beach and meeting with friends. And these are things that exactly happened the way I have envisioned it. And don't get me wrong, there are also some things that I am manifesting and that haven't happened yet and may happen in the future. I don't know. But I think there is something so powerful about energetically like opening yourself up to the reality that you want to create for yourself. And I think I talked to you about this before, where if you don't believe that something will happen in your life, you don't show up in a way where these opportunities will open up. So I think one of the key components to it all is believing in yourself and believing in the life that you want to create for yourself, and kind of letting go of the boundaries that you set in your mind. And yeah, I think today we're going to do that little manifestation magic together. But before we get into all the manifestation, I think it's really important that we first find a moment to reconnect with ourselves. Because if you're currently stressed because you're running towards work or you have all these things happening in your life, it's really hard to actually realign with yourself and feel connected and feel connected to yourself, to your dreams and all these things. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath right now. And I want you to know that you're safe, you're loved, you are protected, and it is okay if you don't have all the answers right now, because you are exactly where you need to be right now. Okay, this is it. This is it. And everything that you are dreaming about, like, you have the power to make them your reality. You have everything within you. And you can choose the energy that you put into the world. You can choose the focus that you put into the world. You can choose how you see the world. And I want you, with this episode, to consciously take back control over your life. Take back control over your energy, over how you're feeling, because you have everything within you to make your dreams reality. And that's what we're about to do right here, right now. So I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. And if you're having a really bad day, I hope that by the end of this episode, you feel a tiny bit better, because girl, you deserve the world. You're meant for big things. You're a beautiful, kind soul on this earth. And we need people more like you. And we need you to learn to radiate your energy and to really step into the version of yourself that you want to become, and really to allow yourself to follow what you are actually craving. Because so often we're just like okay with an okay life. It's important to be grateful for what we have, but I think there's something special once you allow yourself to step out of that and be like, okay, this is what I'm craving and this is what I'm working towards, and I will enjoy the path towards it, but this is what I am supposed to experience on this life journey. So again, take a deep breath. You are safe, you are loved, you are protected. If you feel like that your mind is running still 180 miles per hour, I want you to take a moment and to take your journal and to brain dump and write down everything that is currently on your mind, that is occupying your mind, that is taking over yourself and taking away the control that you feel like you have over your life. Sometimes doing these very, very simple things can already make a difference, because again, we're taking back control over our lives. So if there's anything currently going on in your mind, take right now a moment to write down and brain dump everything. The brain dumping is done, but I feel internally that I need to even more feel this energy towards myself right now and reconnect with myself. So I was just looking to my right, and there I have a letter that I like to read to myself every morning. So I'm going to read it out loud, and maybe it can also help you feel even more connected to your inner self. Hey you. I know life can feel like a lot sometimes, and it's so easy to lose the bigger picture. But this is what I'm here for. Take a deep breath. Remember you're safe, you're loved, you are protected. Life is good. You are good. I want you to understand life is a gift. It is a gift being on this earth, going through this living experience, feeling emotions, the good and the bad, experience love, connection, joy, and also sadness, grief, frustration. You're meant to walk through this chaos of life, but see the chaos as part of the beauty. This is what makes it so special. You're so eternally loved, and you're meant for big things. You're meant to follow your heart, to listen and to be guided by this inner light. Allow yourself to follow the path that is meant for you, no matter the fear, the judgment, or anything that is trying to keep you small. You got this. You really got this. You are made for this. So step into this reality and remember you're so much more capable than you think. I love this. I love having this just as my vision board there. Okay, so take one more deep breath. And what I want you to do right now is, again, you can do that just through thinking about it, or you can also write it down the way I'm going to do it. The first thing I want you to journal about is, what do you want? What is it that you actually want? And who do you want to become? Who do you want to become? And with all that, also, what is the energy that you want to create in your life? What is the feeling that you want to create in your life? And what I will do is I will just journal about these questions and really just write whatever comes to my mind and just write that down. And the way I'm usually going towards it is also, again, very much connected to, okay, what is the feeling that I want to create? What is the energy that I want to create? But also connected to, there will be kind of days where I'm not feeling good, where challenges will come up, where health stuff may come up, or family stuff, or just, life is happening and there are some circumstances that you cannot change. So what I'm also going to do is, okay, how is this higher version of myself handling these types of situations? So if you're currently not journaling, I want you to just think about in your mind, okay, what is it that you actually want in your life? Like, what do you want? And you don't have to always have the clearest answer. Like, if you know to a T what you want, good for you. I'm so proud of you. Like, how amazing is that you know actually what you want, which just helps you to know how to get there. But I also know that sometimes you're not at the point yet where you actually know, like, to a T what it is. You kind of maybe know a feeling or the direction, but you're still very, very lost. And I want you to know that that is also completely okay. But just try to really visualize and think about it. Okay, what is the reality that I want to create for myself? What are some areas? What are some things that I really, really am craving? What is the energy that I'm craving? What is the feeling that I'm craving? What is it that I really, 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 really want in my life? And just be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and really try to connect to this intuition, to this inner light, to this inner energy, to this purest, most honest version of yourself. Okay, what do I want from my life? What do I really, really want from my life? And as I'm saying these words, I have to start smiling because I start thinking about, okay, what is it that I actually want? And you can also think about it in this way. Okay, what is the area that you currently want to focus on? Like, is there maybe a specific direction where just like, okay, for me personally, what I am currently wanting to work on most is basically some parts in my business. I feel like I'm getting close to certain points of like, okay, I'm manifesting new things into my life. But this is, for example, for me, an area that I especially want to focus on. So if you have a part in your life where you're not, feel like you're not there yet, or you're just like, okay, this is what I want to focus on, feel free to really also think about this, like in a like really visually. Okay, what is it that you want, let's say in a relationship, or with your friendships, or with your hobbies, with your career, with your fitness, with whatever it is. Really think about, okay, what is the reality that I want to create for myself? Okay, once you're now finished, we're going to step to the next part. And the next part is basically looking at your life a little bit more in different areas of your life, because sometimes looking at everything all at once is just like a whole big blob. And personally, for me, it really helps me to see my life in different areas and be like, okay, these are the things that I want to manifest in this area of my life. These are the things that I want to manifest in this area of my life. And in general, this is what I want. I hope that makes sense for you. But the way I'm going to do it personally for myself, I have 4 categories for myself. The first category that I chose for myself is basically my career, which connects coaching and podcasting and leaving an impact and inspiring and motivating and finances and all these different areas. And this is the first area that I will reflect about more deeply about, okay, what is it that I want to manifest in these areas of my life? What is the energy that I want to put in? What is the energy that I want to radiate? The second area that I will personally focus on is the relationship I have with other people. That can be like my partner, my family, my friends, social connections, maybe also connections that I yet want to make. So this is the next area that I will think about more clearly about, okay, what is the reality that I want to manifest for myself in this area? The third area that I have chosen for myself is the relationship with myself. And honestly, that is, in most cases, one of the most important parts to focus on, like the relationship that you have with yourself. That can mean self-love, mental health, work-life balance, the way you feel about yourself. Like there's so many layers to this. But I really want to take some time to reflect about this. And I feel like this question also has a lot to do with, okay, who do you want to become? How are you handling challenges? How are you showing up for yourself? How are you talking to yourself? And I love looking more at this because this really helps you realize how much you are actually in control of your life. And sometimes life situations and certain circumstances are not very easy. In fact, they're sometimes really freaking hard. And looking at this helps you take back control. So this helps me figure out, okay, who do I want to become? How am I handling challenges? How am I handling good days? How do I want to show up for myself? In what ways do I want to be talking to myself? And for me, this is also an area that helps me to reconnect with like the higher purpose and with like zooming out, seeing like, okay, all these little tiny things that are not working out in my favor, like let's zoom out, because sometimes, oh my God, I always talk about like learning to talk to yourself nicely, but girls, sometimes I don't talk to myself nicely at all. Not at all. And I'm still working on these things. I would say in general, I'm really good at it, but that's just something that sometimes happens. But this is something that we can work on and that we can improve on. And we can always learn to improve how we talk to ourselves. And something that currently really helps me to look at life differently is the fact that I'm realizing I'm looking at life so zoomed in, like at this 26-year-old version of myself. And I don't know, I feel like it is kind of limiting my mind thinking about, okay, there will be a future, like 20 years from now, a different version of myself. And I feel like I'm sometimes too hard on myself for certain things because I'm just looking at Greta from today or maybe 2 years ago, and some patterns are still happening. But there's a Greta, hopefully, knock on wood, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, with so much different energy and different learnings and all these things. So again, the area of inner relationship is something that is so important. And basically the fourth area that I want to take some time to like really reflect about, okay, what do I actually want? What do I want to manifest? Is more going towards my life / free time, adventures, joy, hobbies, all of that type of thing. Because I just want to make sure that I'm realigning my life in all areas to the life that I want to create for myself, and also what I want to share with you also here right now. Sometimes we want everything to happen all at once and all right now, and especially if you're reflecting about a lot of different areas, this can sometimes impact that we want like everything happening already yesterday, but that's not going to happen. You have to also give it time, but there's something powerful when you actually realign yourself with, okay, this is what I want. And when you're really having this energy of, I'm claiming this, like this is what I want and this is what will happen in my life. So if you are actually journaling, then this is a great point to just stop the podcast for a second and reflect about these areas. And if not, I will just invite you to think about it yourself right here as you are listening to this, and just think about, okay, what is it that I actually want to manifest? Think about different areas of your life and think about, okay, what is it that you actually want? The next part to all of this is figuring out, okay, how can you energetically align yourself to this reality that you want to create for yourself? Essentially, how can you manifest this? Because manifesting doesn't happen by sitting down once and thinking about, okay, this is what I want, and then tomorrow this reality is yours. No, the way this reality becomes your reality, wait, no, that didn't make any sense. The way this dream becomes your reality is by you finding ways to energetically align to this life on a daily basis and find a way to connect to yourself. And actually, number 2, also to find a way, okay, how can I stay consistent with this energy that I want to create for myself, with this goal, this dream that I want to work towards? How can I really take the steps and make sure that I get there? Like, what are the things that I need to change about my life to get there? So one of my favorite all-time ways to do that is actually by writing a manifestation letter. This is something that really helps me to realign with this energy that I want to create in my life. And as I said to you before, like one of the things that I have manifested in my life was actually living by the beach together with my partner, working on my dreams. And like I have lived this year in 4 different freaking countries and in 5 different apartments / places, which is actually insane. So yeah, again, write a letter to yourself. And one of my favorite manifestation techniques is actually a letter that I have shared this tip with you before, probably countless times. And it's basically like this. The idea behind this is basically that you write a letter from the perspective of today, 1 year from now. So basically, let's say whenever you're listening to this episode, it's November 3rd, because I think I'm going to upload this November 3rd. So November 3rd, 2025 is the year that we have right now. So you're going to jump into November 3rd, 2026, and you're going to write a letter out of the perspective of 1 year from now. And you're going to write in the present tense as if everything that you have been dreaming about already became your reality. And one of the most important parts of this letter is for you to actually, when you read it, that you energetically, that you really feel this energy of already being there. Like the reality that you want to create for yourself It has already happened. How does it feel to already sit in this reality? And that is the energy that I want you to portray. And basically, the sentence that you will start this letter with is, I am so thankful and I feel blessed now that I have. And then you can start writing. Again, I am so thankful and I feel blessed now that I have. And then you can read all the manifestations that you want to have as your reality. Okay, you got it? I hope you got it. And there are also a lot of different other ways. And I actually, as I was preparing to record this episode, I was taking a look at my Notion and I found a letter that I have written to myself before. And I want to read it out loud. It is not the structure that I have just explained to you, but maybe it will help you understand of like what is the feeling that you want this letter to create when you read it. Dear universe, dear life, dear future me, thank you. Thank you for every moment, every lesson, every challenge that has led me here. I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm safe, I'm loved, I'm protected, and I trust that everything is unfolding for me in ways more beautiful than I can imagine. I open myself up to expansion. I welcome abundance into my life, financial abundance, creative abundance, love in all its forms. Money flows to me with ease from expected and unexpected places. I receive with gratitude, knowing I'm worthy of all the success, wealth, and security that is meant for me. I stand firm in my self-belief, no longer seeking validation outside of myself. I'm my own rock. My vision is powerful and I trust myself to bring it to life. I'm an inspiration, a guide, a light. I uplift others and in doing so I rise too. My presence alone is enough. My voice, my work, my energy, these are gifts I share unapologetically. I step into life fully, embrace adventure, spontaneity, the joy of new experiences. I'm surrounded by people who see me, who love me, who celebrate me. I laugh deeply, love fiercely, and live freely. I take up space. I honor my body, my creativity, my soul. I nurture myself, knowing that the more I fill my own cup, the brighter my light shines for the world. I'm guided. Every step I take is divinely supported. I'm in tune with my intuition, my spirituality, my purpose. Life is happening for me, always. I trust in divine timing. I trust in myself. I am here. I am ready. And I receive it all. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. And I think there are different ways how you can practice manifestation on the daily. You can literally have this letter and you read it out loud to yourself every single day, or you can make yourself a voice message and basically read this letter and you listen to your letter every single morning, first thing when you wake up and maybe when you go to bed, whatever it is, find a way to reconnect with this energy. And when you're reading this or when you're listening to your own voice, really, really embrace this energy and put away all distractions and listen to it and enjoy it. Enjoy the manifestations that you want to create in your life because, girl, you deserve it. You deserve it so much. And if you need help with making manifestations become reality, because as I said, manifestation is not about sitting down one time and just being like, okay, this is what I want, universe, and just boom, next day you're gonna get there. No, it's also about showing up consistently, creating this energy within yourself and taking the action steps. And these are things that I can all help you with. As I said in the beginning, I'm not a manifestation coach and a manifestation expert, but what I am an expert in is supporting you and being an empowerment coach and being an accountability coach. So if you need help with that, with getting the kick in the butt and sometimes also the kind words and the supportive bestie vibes, then I'm there for you because I would love to support you on creating your dream reality. I want to help you live your dream life. If you want more information on that, you can just DM me on Instagram at greta.webhofer, greta.webhofer, or you can just book a free 30-minute call down below in the show notes. I have all the links down below. I hope you have a lovely, beautiful day. I'm so proud of you and you got this, girl. You got this. And let's manifest all these dreams into our realities. Bye.